Hey there, this is Dave DeBow with Canadian Profits TV. Welcome to another this week's episode. I got some running around to do here in the bright yellow FJ Cruiser, so why don't you come along for a ride with me? On this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV, for our business breakthrough, I'm going to be talking a little bit about ongoing business education, sharpening the saw, keeping on top of things. For our real estate tips, check my notes here quickly. We're talking about real estate yoga. And for our mindset minute, I'm going to revisit our good friend Steve Chandler, his newest book, Time Warrior, and talking about capturing your problems. So stay tuned. All right, so for this week's business breakthrough, I love this weather. Gorgeous fall day here in Kamloops, so we've got to take advantage of it when we can. For our business breakthrough, I'm excited because I'm getting ready to go to Tampa, Florida in a couple of days. That's where we're holding our newest Glazer Kennedy Titanium Mastermind meeting. So again, this is through Dan Kennedy's Glazer Kennedy organization. Dan's one of my biggest mentors ever since I first started in business, first started getting serious about business. And I'm very, very excited about this trip for a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm going a day early. I'm going to be meeting with some new friends who are part of the Titanium Group, who do a whole thing, what they call a power day, all about improving your sales skills. Goodness knows I could use a little improvement in that department, so I'm going to check that out. And then 2 solid days of hanging around with some of the top marketers in the world, sharp business people. Bill Glazer, who's Dan Kennedy's partner. There's just nothing like being very passionate about something and being able to hang out with the elite who are part of that, who have the same mindset or who are into the same thing. So really, really looking forward to that event. Now, what does that have to do with a business breakthrough? Well, again, even if it's on a local level, if you're in your own town, your own city, it's really important to belong to a group of like-minded people. If you're a business owner, I highly recommend that you become part of BNI, the Business Networking Group, your local Chamber of Commerce, but even more so, because those are more networking type groups, is if you can create your own little mastermind group, work together, bounce ideas off of other business owners who are in different industries than you are. Huge value in doing that. Or you can do like I do and join a more formal group that you actually invest to attend, because if you invest money in it, you tend to take it more seriously. So that's your business breakthrough for this week. All right, so for our real estate tips, I want to talk about real estate yoga. What does that mean? Well, that's about being flexible when it comes to your investments. So a lot of people, when they get into real estate investing, they're very, very narrow-minded. They're very focused just on one thing, and they let a lot of opportunities fall through their fingers. How do I know this? Because I was that way when I was doing my 18 flips in 18 months. Sure, I was doing creative deals, but I wasn't educated enough. I was only focusing on, basically no money down type deals. Kind of tough to come across, hard to come across those kind of deals, and I left a lot of really good opportunities on the table because I didn't understand how to take advantage of them. So it's important to be flexible when it's in your real estate investing. Yes, you want to focus on one main area, but you also want to be able to do a few other things like options. If you're looking for some quick cash, you can get some education on doing rent homes, especially if you're a buy and hold kind of a person, if you're a landlord person. If you get a kind of a dog of a property, you're having a hard time selling it normally, think about doing a sandwich lease as a rent home type deal. And if you don't want to do these things, it's good to know other people who do these kinds of real estate activities, and that way you can share leads, you can share deals, you can pass deals on to them if you don't want to do them yourself, and vice versa. So flexibility is very important when it comes to real estate investing, and that's why we call it real estate yoga. That's your real estate tip for today. All right, right, so for a Mindset Minute, I'll try and show you this without crashing. I'm taking a look at Steve Chandler's newest book, Time Warrior. This is a book that just came out. He sent me a copy of it. I read it. I think all of our Diamond and Peak Performer members should have a copy by now. I sent everybody a copy of that last month. Fantastic book. Highly recommend it. Today I want to talk a little bit about Chapter 30. I think there's 101 chapters, but most of them are like 1 or 2 pages. Short, bite-sized chapters, very easy to read, fun to read. Chapter 30 is all about capturing your problems. So what does that mean? That means myself, maybe you as well. Quite often when we have a problem, it's this big scary thing that we're worried about, we're afraid of, and it's kind of like the boogeyman. It's out there and it makes us nervous. What Steve is saying is we should look at it a little bit differently. We need to capture that problem, put it down on paper, and put it in perspective. So when you have a problem, and I do this quite often, when do I worry about problems? Late at night, usually gives me a little insomnia. So I get up, and I find it very, very helpful to write the problem down on a sheet of paper. What is the problem? Look at it on paper, kind of brings it into perspective, and makes it a lot easier to deal with. Then you can just kind of write down under it possible solutions, possible ideas, people to contact, people who can help you out, other little things that you could be looking at, how to turn the problem into an opportunity. So if you capture that problem, take it out of the ether, take it out of your mind, put it on paper, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with. Again, that's from our good friend Steve Chandler, his newest book, Time Warrior. You can find out all about Steve at his website, stevechandler.com. I absolutely love the guy. Just really connect with what he has to say, most importantly, how he has to say it. So check it out. All right, well, that's it for this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. This was brought to you by Dan Kennedy's newest product. It's called the Game Changer DNA product. It's something that they've just come out with, very, very new. And if you want to find out a little bit about Dan Kennedy, this guy's had a huge influence on my life. Just click on the banner to your right where it says Game Changer DNA there. There's some free videos up there. I think there's a webinar by my mentor, Bill Glazer, all sorts of good stuff. Watch the videos. Dan Kennedy never gives away stuff for free. He is doing it this time. There's some great information. Even if you don't invest in his program, you'll learn a lot from the video. So check him out. Just click on the banner to the right. Stay tuned for next week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. Got some really good stuff for our business breakthrough. Going to be talking about going old school. New stuff is great, but sometimes we have to look at old school stuff. Talk to you about some lessons, some ideas that I picked up from our good friend Michael McLean during our most recent Diamond webinar. For our real estate tips, we're going to be talking about manual versus automatic real estate investing and real estate activities. And for a Mindset Minute, we'll revisit Steve Chandler's book, Time Warrior, talk about another chapter there, again, about dealing with problems and redefining them. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.